Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Braided Puzzles Grind on chess.com. Today I played a 10-minute rapid game, and actually in that game I made a move which was classified as brilliant by chess.com, and yeah, that hadn't happened in a while. So yeah, it was not a very difficult move to find. It was just a position, and yeah, it was a check with my rook, sacrificing the rook, and then I had like mate in 3. So yeah, it wasn't that crazy, but yeah, it felt good. So it just goes to show that the puzzle grind is paying off. In actual games, you also get positions where you have some forcing moves, perhaps some forced checkmate, and the more you calculate it in puzzles, the more often you see it in actual games. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And if you're also grinding puzzles, keep going, and it will also inevitably help your rapid or blitz or whatever time control games as well. So today, as always, I'll try to solve the puzzles as quickly as possible and then talk about the solutions. So let's begin. Alright, so this was, yeah, not too difficult, just a very beautiful puzzle. And wow, plus 10. I suppose if you get the puzzles quickly, you really gain a lot of rating. And wow, 5 in a row. Yeah, because yesterday I got 5 in a row in the end of the episode. You can also check it out on my channel, all the previous episodes. But yeah, let's see this puzzle. Yeah, so this move is just what attracts my eye immediately, because it would be mate if that square was protected somehow, but it isn't, so it leaves him only one move, capturing with the king. And then I immediately noticed that his king and my rook are on the same files. So if his king is on e7 on that square, then if I move my knight anywhere, there will be a discovered check. And then I notice that when the king is there, if I move my knight to these squares, it will be a double check. So that means that he must move the king. He can't capture any of the pieces I'm checking him with. So it doesn't matter that the knight protects that or something. And then the difference between these two squares is, if I go here, this square is available for him. He can just move the king there, and I'm not sure. I think there might not be a forced mate, but this looks way more beautiful because the knight covers that square. And then the bishop covers this diagonal, covers this square, the rook covers the entire file. So yeah, once again, after this sequence, he must go back to the back rank because it's a double check. None of these squares are available. He must move the king. So if he just goes to that square, I guess I can show everything, right? Yeah, I don't have to do it in my mind when I have this. Oh, actually, I was calculating if he goes there, but he can't because the knight is covering that. But if there was no knight, let's just say how do I remove the knight? Let's imagine a position where I make some random move. He takes my knight, I make some random move, he goes back. Um, Wait, is it different now somehow? Oh, it would actually be different, or would it? If he goes there, I was calculating this, and yeah, actually, if that square is available, he would escape. So yeah, actually, that knight does a lot in this position. It actually covers that square. So yeah, I suppose I got lucky that he can't go there, because if he could, there actually wouldn't be a forced mate. So yeah, that knight is important. So I guess what happened in the puzzle is actually the only moves for him in all these positions, and this is just mate, because my rook covers this file and my knight covers these two squares, and the bishop is checking him so he can't capture the bishop. So yeah, very beautiful puzzle, but after all, this knight is important covering that square, so his king can't escape to the right side of the board. Alright, let's keep going. Actually, this move looks crazy, but it might work because my knight could go there and maybe I threaten mate, but yeah, this is complicated. Doesn't seem to work. Actually, this move doesn't look so bad after all, because after he takes my rook, I have this move threatening mate on that square. And could he defend? Yeah, maybe he just brings the queen close to the king and there's no mate. Yeah, so it doesn't seem to work as it looks close, but after I get my knight there, he just brings the queen to close to his king, and yeah, I can't mate him. What else could be the move then? Wow, I have no idea. Yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, 11 minutes is, yeah, kind of long, but I don't know really. I mean, I feel like it will be a night move either one of these, but I just don't see how it's winning. The queen sack doesn't seem to make any sense. And yeah, I just don't see any other moves. So, I guess I'll just have to guess. Yeah, let's just try this somehow. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's probably wrong because I don't see how it's good, but yeah, I really have nothing. Yeah, it's not that. Could it be this? And it's not that, so I must be really missing something. At least there's that. Yeah, I'll just have to take a hint. So it's this night. Whoa. So I was looking at this shortly, but he takes with the queen, and yeah, if I check him, he takes. If I check him, he takes, and I see nothing. So I really am not sure. This move doesn't seem to make much sense either. Can just take with the queen. So I really am not sure. Okay, so it's this after all. Um, how? What am I missing? Oh, maybe it's just this. Yeah, and I collect the rook. Alright. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm not sure why doesn't it show how much rating I lost after this puzzle. Yeah, because I got it wrong, so I should have lost some rating, but I guess it hasn't updated yet or something. So yeah, after all, this move makes some more sense because I add support to that square with my knight. I also hit that square somehow, and yeah, captures with the queen. I can just trade queens, and this check discovers the attack on the rook, and I can just take the rook. Wow, so interesting, but Yeah, I'm not sure why doesn't it show speed bonus. Maybe I took too long, maybe it doesn't even register me doing the puzzle or something, but yeah, I definitely should have lost rating, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, let's keep going. Doesn't it allow me to do next puzzle? Is the site bugged? What happened? Doesn't let me click, guys. What do I do? Do I have to refresh the page? I suppose. Alright. So we did 2 puzzles, so 8 more to go. Wow, this is another very difficult puzzle. Yeah, this move seems like the only reasonable move. Like this sacrificing doesn't seem to work because he just takes that pawn and it's a fork and I can't capture and it will also be a discovery check and a double check or I lose my queens. So I have to not allow that and this is the only move I think which makes any sense. And it's incorrect. So that happens quite often. Let's try to see what else I can do. Maybe I have to move my queen somewhere. This seems like a reasonable square. And it's correct, because it pins the knight, it hits that, it hits both of these things. Yeah, so I guess I should have looked into this. And actually, I can just capture it, because the only way he can capture back is with the queen, but then my pawn would be no longer pinned, and I could capture back again, and yeah, I'm just up a piece. So that makes quite some sense. Yeah, so the other way to avoid that fork was to just move my queen. Yeah, so not much to say, it makes sense, I just didn't find it, let's keep going. Right, so this is fairly simple, just a forced mate. We have two checks. This one doesn't work because he just captures, and yeah, I have nothing to do. I just lose the game. Yeah, this is the only check. He can't move there because of the rook. Yeah, so he has to capture, and then it's simple here. Once again, the rook is covering that file, and the queen is covering this rank, and that's the only move, and this is just mate. So yeah, fairly simple. Wow, so I think his queen is just trapped already. Yes, and he can't go to any of these squares to try and trade the queens because my knights cover these squares. So yes, I think his queen is just trapped. yeah, if he does this, I just take the queen. Yeah, I think there are no tricks here. Yes. Right, so pretty interesting puzzle. Like the first thing you can notice is his king is out of squares, so it seems like maybe with this knight you have some checkmating ideas, but the issue is that this bishop covers this diagonal, and there isn't really a good way to get rid of it. So because if you capture, he can just capture with the queen, and yeah, once again now the queen covers these squares, and also he's trying to trade queens, so you have to take and you're just down a piece, and it's not too great. But then once I tried to look at his queen, it just also lacks squares. It's kind of in this space just stuck, and yeah, I thought maybe I can just attack it. I initially thought maybe first I go with the knight and then I attack the queen, but there's no need for that because it's already trapped. It just has no escape. This is covered by the knight. This is also covered by the other knight. This is covered by the queen. And this is covered by the pawns. So yeah, just very beautiful. The queen is trapped and we just take it. Okay, so we're in check. These are always interesting. So this would lead to a discovery check. And actually just to checkmate probably. So it has to be one of these moves, I suppose. Because if I just get to play this, it's checkmate. So I have to not allow him to check me, which is not so simple. Yeah, so this looks like the best square from the first glance, but let's just make sure. Yeah, it's the only square where he doesn't have a single check. So I'll just write. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's correct, and yeah, he desperately tries to sack the queen, and I don't have this check now, but I can just capture the queen, and the station is not any better for him. And yeah, well, if he does that, unfortunately, I still have this check, and I just collect his rook. Yeah, let's just make sure that there's no mate. Yeah, there's even better. This is just mate. So very nice. Right, but once again, after I played the move, yeah, like I didn't calculate him sacking the queen at all. It just seemed that he has no defense, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. He can try to sack the queen to defend that square or allow his king to go down, but I just capture, and yeah, if he goes here, I could take his rook, but yeah, apparently I'm not even winning because yeah, I don't know for what reasons. As you can see, the engine shows that if I take the rook, I'm apparently just losing really hard. Oh well, I suppose I can sub these pawns, which makes sense. So luckily for me, after this check, he can't go there, so he has to come down, and this is mate. Yeah, so guys, don't just take free rooks or free pieces. Always make sure that there is no checkmate, because well, checkmate is the goal of the game, and it just wins immediately. So, guys, as they say, If you see good, look for a better, and checkmate is the best thing, so always check. If there are checks and maybe some check is checkmate. Now this is crazy, I don't know the solution yet, but what the heck is this position? What am I watching, guys? How did this position happen in some game? It's insane. As crazy as it seems, maybe the pawn push to support the other pawn is not so bad. Yeah, because as crazy as this position is, he doesn't really threaten anything as of yet besides the pawn attacked attacked 3 times. And I'm only defending it twice, so if I push the pawn, it's defended 3 times. So it seems reasonable, but since this is a puzzle, maybe there's something tricky I'm missing. Yeah, I really don't see anything else. I'll just think that it's it. And as always, if you think that, the move must be wrong. So what am I missing? I can't take, he just takes my rook with check and also my bishop, and I just lose. So what could it be? Yeah, I really have no idea. It's a rook move. Wow, it simply should be this. Yeah, because it hits the bishop, it's currently unprotected, and if he moves it, I take the knight. And if he tries to protect it, I push the pawn, and yeah, seems correct. Here I should be careful, because I can take the bishop or I can take the knight. Yeah, I think taking with this is better because after he takes and I take, yeah, he doesn't have any kind of checks. Yeah, so how bad is the move I played? Apparently it's not horrible, but I don't win, then it's just a draw, kind of. Yeah, and this rook move is just very logical, hitting the bishop and the knight, and if he does this, yeah, the problem with this move is that he just takes with his knight, and yeah, it's not great because my king is really exposed and my pieces are undeveloped, so it's not looking good. But if I just take this, so there's not much for him to do. If he tries something like this, then what I can do is just, yeah, develop the bishop anywhere, and I up 2 pieces. So very interesting. Yeah, so as always, guys, unless it's a forced mate, for sure, if you see a move and it looks decent, it's very possible that it's just wrong and you can lose 13 rating just like I did. So yeah, try to look for better moves if the move you play isn't winning hard or something. Right, so this is just forced mate immediately. I think of this move because, yeah, it's only defended by the rook. He can't take with the king because the knight covers, and yeah, once the rook takes, his king is kind of out of squares, and I immediately notice this check. This forces him there, and I conveniently have this bishop, and the square is protected by my knight, and the bishops just hammer away at the king, and yeah, the rook conveniently covers the f6 squares. So yeah, just very very beautiful. Yeah, if my rook wasn't covering the square, the sacrifice wouldn't work, I think. Yeah, or if this bishop wasn't there covering my knight and this square. Yeah, so not much to say, just a very beautiful forced mate. So this move just looks great, but again, since it's the first move I see and it looks great, might just be horrible somehow. But I think this time it's just too good to be bad, and I don't see any other checks, so I don't think that I'm missing a forced mate. Wait a second. No, he can't do that, he's in checks. I'll just try. Right, and here I can just do this, and yeah, win material, but since it's a puzzle, I should check and try and find something better. Alright, my bishop is pinned, so I don't have this move. Yeah, good thing that chess.com doesn't let you play illegal moves. So I should think how to continue. Actually, maybe it's not completely stupid to just move my king there, because here has all kinds of checks, and yeah, I don't like it, but I think there he would be safe, and then I would unpin my bishop, and I think I would have some decent chances, because what else do I have? Don't see any queen move, any sacrifices, and the rook just doesn't help me, because that square is covered by the rook. Yes, actually, I think this is risky, but it might just be the best move. Yeah, I'll just try it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And it is very wrong. So what am I missing once again? Yeah, I really don't know. It's a knight move. Now that is crazy. I suppose actually this knight move makes... Does it make sense? I mean, that is covered, so it doesn't seem to make much sense. Here he just takes... Here, what would be the idea? To get in there somehow and attack the bishop? Yeah, I suppose. No. Is this on? No. If it's this, then it's insane. What? Is it this somehow? No, no way, right? Wait, what do I have here? What is going on? I don't understand. If I do anything, he just goes back. He can always just go back. I don't understand. Oh, this check. Right. Right. So if he tries to run its mate, if he takes, I take with check and I take the rook, but it's equal, isn't it? And he could have just gone there, right? Oh, then I would have brought the other rook in to check him, right? And the bishop is still pinned, but if he just takes, I suppose. Now, what's the continuation? This is. Wow, what a crazy puzzle, guys. And this is only 2157 somehow. Wow, with 52% pass rate. Wow, I don't know. I suppose I just. Yeah, play this. I suppose I totally missed that. Yeah, then the rook and the king are on the same file, and this way he can't capture with the pawn, it's pinned, and if he captures with the rook, then this check is good. Because apparently, yeah, so if he goes here, I think I just bring the rook in, right? He plays rook e5, yeah, I just take. Oh, apparently, if I take with the rook, it's just lost or drawn. But yeah, this way it's good. And if he goes here, I take, and what does he do then? What if he just runs somehow? Then I bring the rook in and he goes here. Then what could I do? Apparently I just check him somehow. And then I attack the bishop with the check. And then I win somehow. Alright, so it's not so simple, but yeah, this move is good, and you have to find knight g5 to do this check, and yeah, just pretty complicated. Yeah, it's crazy how I got like 3 puzzles right, and then 1 puzzle wrong just decreases my rating more than 3 puzzles correctly. And these 2 puzzles were like pretty similar, +8, -12. So yeah, it's way easier to go down than to go up, as in many areas of life. So right, we tried 2 puzzles in the last attempt, the sequence, but somehow it bugged out, and yeah, here we already have 7, so the last one left. Wow, yet another crazy position. I think it might just be trading queens and playing rook a7. Yeah, because he can't defend the knight, and if he moves it, I take the other knight and I threaten mate. So I'll try to be quicker and guess that this is correct because he just seems winning, and hopefully he doesn't have some super move to completely destroy me. Right, so it's not rook a8 because he just takes, but it's rook a7. And if he moves, I just collect the knight and threaten mate. Yes. So, yeah, very nice. Actually, I was looking at this move and it's almost beautiful. Because if there were no knights, this check, well, let's say he just doesn't have these knights, then these squares are covered and he would have to go here. Then I could go to f8 with my rook, and then he would have no moves because that is covered by the pawn, and it would be checkmate. But unfortunately, he has these two knights, and that is impossible. So it's pretty simpler. You just trade queens, and then you attack this. He can't block because that would just hang the rook, and if he moves anywhere, you take the other knight, and you're a piece up, and you're still threatening mates. So he has to play apparently king f7, and yeah, he somehow holds on. Yeah, and winning this is not easy, but still somehow possible. Yeah, anyway, at least we got the puzzle right. So yeah, 8 puzzles in this attempts, and yeah, 2 in the previous one which bugged out, but actually I'm feeling positive. Let's go for one more. Yes, and immediately I get checked. Maybe I will regret my decision. Right, so if I go here, this is very quickly bad. Yeah, for the same reasons. Yeah, that square is also bad, so I think it might be this. Because he's almost getting mated somehow. Almost. Yeah, this is tricky, but I think this might work, because then that's the only check he has. Then, yeah, what do I do about that check? I block with my bishop, and the queen defends it. And yeah, it's looking not so bad. Because if I go here, he just takes, and I have to go there. And it's looking bad. Looking bad. So I will think that this is the only move which doesn't lose immediately. And luckily for me it is, and now I think I have to go here. do I have anything else? So trading queens seems bad because I would be... Oh, maybe it's not so horrible. This move looks a bit better because it attacks the queen, and if he takes my pawn, then yeah, then it's not so simple, but could try this. He goes there. Yeah, and it's actually complicated. If I trade queens, I mean, it's kind of close. I have two pieces for the rook, but maybe this is just better somehow. Yes, I have no idea. Should I trade queens or should I risk everything with this move? And then I could trade queens. It doesn't seem great at all. And if I trade queens now, suppose at least I keep the pawn and I threaten to check him, which might mean something, it might not. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be something obvious, it just wins somehow. This just looks so scary. Looks like I just lose. And then I have no checks. And I have nothing. Maybe I have some move which I'm missing in that position. I really don't see it. I really don't. Actually, if I play the queen here, then I pin my queen and he could do something crazy like this. Then I could take, and he would have to take. I guess I could move my knight. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Maybe I could just move my king away, but yeah, once again, I can't. So I feel like I will definitely play the wrong move, but I just don't see which move would be winning here. It's so crazy, these puzzles. You look at the moves and you don't see it. Wait a second. Nah, I wish I could bring my rook to this square, but my king is in the way, so I don't even have that, unfortunately. I don't know. I'll just guess that it's trading queens because once he takes this, it just looks tragic. Or does it? Yeah, I just don't see it. It's probably wrong, but I have to try something. Yes, it's incorrect. So it was this after all. What the heck do I have here? I mean, I have these two checks, but I just don't see how is this winning. Can someone please tell me? What did I miss? Rook a2. This is insane. It's somehow winning, apparently. I mean, there were only two moves, right? Like, it's either this or the queen. But, like, I can see how people guess this right, and after they do this, then, yeah, you play one of the two checks. But how the heck is this winning? Like, as you can see, it's some complicated stuff. Apparently, let's say he plays king e2 or whatever. You have to bring the rook in. He can just defend, and the queen also defends it. And it's just very complicated. Not obvious at all that it's winning. So yeah, going for one more puzzle cost me 11 rating. Yeah, I think tomorrow I will stick to 10 as yeah, these puzzles are getting very brutal and complex. So yeah, I suppose I should try to stick with less, but somehow figure them out. Yeah, I won't even analyze this puzzle, guys. It's just yeah, a bit too much. I completely don't understand this position. It's very complex. So yeah, that's all for today. A little disappointing day, but it's all right. We tried to solve. the puzzles we did our best, and yeah, I suppose just come back the next day and try to improve. So thank you so much for watching if you got this far into the video. If you enjoyed it, you can like it, and you can also subscribe to my channel so you see when I upload something new. So that's all for today, and see you next time.